Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Who all we got in the chat? Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday the 7th, March 7th, 2025. We're going to go over some geopolitical news. We're going to go over the markets because it ain't looking good out there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some turmoil. But good morning. Good morning. Hopefully everybody's doing okay this morning. Press 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Press 1. Trying to get my audio together, make sure I'm clear. Trying to make sure my chat is doing good. All right, what's up, Raymond? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What's up, Donna? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? What's up, Tribe Benjamin? Shout out to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'd like to get some engagement, man. Matter of fact, let's get a quick roll call. Shout out where you're from. Shout out where you're from, city, state, country, whatever you want to shout out. Good morning. Going to get into the markets. We're going to get into some headlines. We got to keep you updated. And you already know I got the technical side of things as far as the markets. Are y'all at work this morning? Are you relaxing? You at work? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Tribe Benjamin. Good morning, bro. Augusta, Georgia in the building. Shout out to GA. Shout out to GA. It's already it's already lunchtime in GA. Shout out to GA. What's up, Donna? We got BC, Canada in the building. Shout out to Canada. My Canadian friends. Shout out to Canada. What's the temperature like in Canada? Is it still, what is it starting to warm up or is it still frigid? We got time change this tomorrow. Matter of fact, we got time change coming up tomorrow. So hopefully you're getting adjusted. It's already spring where I'm at. Spring is already blooming. So we're getting warm weather. But yeah, don't forget time change tomorrow. Hopefully I'll remind you. All right, man, we gonna get into some headlines, man. As far as the market, so you already know we got this. We're in the second week of geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. They're calling it the third Gulf War. So that's crazy, ain't it? We're in the third Gulf War, and it's so much information and so much news that I can't keep up with it. But I'm gonna try my best to pretty much go over it, most of it. But how does that, you already can see it's tying into the global markets. If you once you go out your house today, or if you already been out, you're going to already recognize that gas prices are starting to shoot up. Now, just 2 weeks ago, right, gas was like maybe 60 something a barrel. We're going to get into it. I'm gonna look at the chart. But gas was 60 something a barrel. And this 2 weeks later, it shoots up to $90 a barrel. We're going into well beyond $100 per barrel. If not, we might get into the $150, $160, $200 per barrel for oil if this conflict continues to go on. So you're going to be impacted. You know what I'm saying? Global shipments, global goods and supplies. The supply chain is going to experience a shock because of what's going on. So you already know they're setting us up over here in the West and pretty much worldwide for economic crisis, right? the United States military, because we've been supporting many nations for a very long time. We've been supporting Ukraine. We've been supporting Israel. We're pretty much depleting our stockpiles, right? We're depleting our munitions, our stockpiles. So now we're trying to increase our production as far as munitions and weapons. But you already know that's going to put a strain on the economy, right? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna pay for that? Who gonna pay for that? So they continue to push the can down the road as far as debt. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into it. Donna, here is 10 Celsius. Not too bad. Spring weather. Okay, shout out to you, Donna. 10 Celsius. All right. So I'm just kicking it this morning. Nothing too crazy. We're just gonna get into some headlines, and I'm gonna go into the market. Before I go into the market, right? Let's go look at oil right quick. And when y'all go outside today, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna, matter of fact, yeah, when you go outside today, you're gonna see what oil, gas prices are doing, right? So right now the market is closed for oil. I think I think come Sunday, this is gonna gap open. It's gonna continue to go higher, right? So oil right now, $91 per barrel. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back. Let's go down to the monthly candle, right? Monthly candle. So we opened up March. First of all, we're in the first quarter of 2026. We got the geopolitical conflict. We opened up March at $75 a barrel, right? Prior to that, right? Prior to us opening up March, this was already staged. They was already running this market up, right? They was already pushing it higher. So just 2 months ago in January, oil was $57 a barrel, right? Life was good. Prices were cheap. And now it's up to $91 a barrel in 2 months, right? And then if we want to put the technical stuff to it, back in December, and this is all planned, bro. They dropped it down, right? They took out liquidity. Let me highlight that. This low right there. They had their orders already in the market. So yeah, they're speculating. They're making money. See, that's what they don't want to tell you about. The banks, the institutions, they take us to war. They get excited because, hey, man, it's an opportunity to make some money. And when they drop price below that low right there, right, there's pending orders, buy orders by the market makers below the market. They drop it down, right, take out liquidity. Look over to the left. What is this right here in the chat, right? What is this in the chat? I just want to get the engagement. This is teaching, and I'm also going to plug it in with the news, right? So if you're new to my channel, this is a educational, technical analysis channel, right? I do teaching, I do coaching, I do mentorship with this. So this is not random. If you don't know, these markets are rigged, and they're 100% manipulated. And traders like me, we use that to our advantage. We know that the markets are rigged, and we demand the manipulation, right? I support the manipulation. That sounds crazy, right? But I'm aware of the manipulation, and I can go in here. What's up, Daryl? What's up, TZ? What's up, Jantel? What's up, man? Appreciate y'all joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're just reviewing oil right quick, and then I'm gonna get into the headlines, right? Drop down, take out liquidity. There's orders inside of this area right here. Do you think that's random that they do that back in December? And then here it is, top of the year, first quarter, first 3 months of the year. They go from, back in December, oil went down to $54 a barrel. 3 months later, $91 a barrel. And I think it's going to continue to rise. So y'all look over here to the left, right? Where is oil going? Y'all want to play the game? Where is oil going? How far can it go? Check this high out right here, right? This high. That high, there is liquidity above that high. That high is priced at $94.99, right? So yeah, we're gonna see $100 per barrel oil. $94.99. They left behind pending orders in the market right there. I think we get that next week. Soon as the market opens, next week we're going up here, right here, $94 a barrel. But then we can go beyond that, right? We can blow right through that, and then look at this right here, this area right here. If you don't know what I'm highlighting, right? The market makers leave behind inefficiencies, and they leave behind things in the market, right? So they leave behind this gap. You might not see it, but over time, when I explain it, you'll figure it out. But this is right here. This is a fair value gap, also known as a SIBI. This particular fair value gap is a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So what does that mean? It was only going low, right? So it was inefficient on the sell side. It didn't offer any buying in here, right? So what an algorithm, which the markets are algorithmic, what an algorithm will do, it's going to want to refer back to this area, right? Because it's inefficient. They didn't make it efficient with buying. So that's an area of interest that we can see price reach for right there. And let's say it reaches up into that. Well, the low end of it is $98 a barrel. The midpoint, $100 a barrel. Can you make that up? If we just talking about like big picture numbers, right? If we just talking about like round even numbers, like $100 is psychological, right? $100 per barrel oil. Well, why is $100 right here at the midpoint of this inefficiency? Why is $100 right here at the midpoint of this fair value gap, right? You can't make that up. You can't make that up. What's up, Lenny? Good morning. Yes, $100 coming, man. $100 coming. Now I feel for y'all that live out in like California, you know, some places just gonna be ridiculous. Like, come on, man. I already seen the UK, like the UK, they're paying like shit, $14, $15, $16 per barrel in their currency. And you already know the pound is way more, it has more value than the United States dollar, right? The pound has more value than the United States dollar. And they're over there paying 16, 17 pounds for a gallon of gas. Can you imagine that in the United States? Us paying over $10 for a gallon of gas? Well, as long as if they drag this conflict out and oil decides to just break the hell out. Look, this swing high up here back in 2022, oil went up to $129 a barrel, right? Are y'all ready for that? Because guess what? That's a level of interest that I have. If I was trading oil, if I was speculating on oil, that's a level of interest that I have right there. $129, $130 per barrel. Are y'all ready for that? And then let's say we blow through that. Well, the all-time high over here. This is the all-time high back in 2001. My bad, 2008. July 2008, oil went up to $147 a barrel. As long as we stay at war, because as long as we stay at war, I believe it's going to go there, right? So $150 per barrel. So these are levels that the market makers are probably going to want to reach for. Donna, $6 a gallon here. Man, that's insane. In Canada, right? Man, gas around here is just right where I'm at because we refine oil. I live in the deep south in Louisiana. So between us, Louisiana and Texas, it's going up, right? Gas is going up, which it shouldn't because motherfucker, we refined it. We refined the oil. So, and we got storage units full of oil. So we're seeing about $2.98. It's about to cross over $3. So if y'all are paying $6, man, I can't even imagine that, right? So it's almost like we all living in, like us in the States, it's almost like we all live in different countries. Because, you know, every state is different and every country is different. So that's oil. We'll come back to this chart, right? I'll come back to this chart. Let's go ahead and get into some headlines, right? Let's get into some headlines. So this is some overnight headlines. Let's get into it. I'm just catching up myself. So I just pulled up some videos from news sources. So let me cut the music. And let's play this right quick.
This morning, growing concerns about the U.S. economy, with oil prices surging and the war in Iran crippling exports.
Oil prices have jumped their most amount in a week since 1983.
Crude prices soaring 35% this week alone, the biggest gain ever in futures trading history for the commodity.
It's crazy. It's not.
Pause. I'm gonna play that back. Did y'all hear that? The biggest gain ever in the futures commodity. Lenny, I just seen you say you was gonna check the futures margins, but they're saying this was the biggest week. Let me go back to the chart. This was the biggest week in the oil futures market. And I've been on this channel forever trying to get people to learn the skill set that I teach, right? Learn the skill set that I teach and come over here to the futures market and, you know, be a participant. Because you could trade all kind of assets. Where did my oil chart go? Right here. All right, right here. So yeah, they're saying, right, the biggest week ever. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but they're saying this is the biggest week ever in the oil futures market. So again, if you would have been a buyer down here and held it up here, you probably could have changed your life, right? All so far, you could have changed your life. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Let me come back to this video.
35% this week alone, the biggest gain ever in futures trading history for the commodity.
It's crazy. It's not needed, especially at a time when people are already struggling.
The impact already showing up at the pump. The national average for a gallon of gas, around $3.40 a gallon, jumping 40 cents in just 1 week. It's this narrow waterway, the Strait of Hormuz off Iran's southern coast, turning the oil market upside down. 1/5 of the entire world's oil supply flows through here. Pressure building elsewhere in the U.S. economy, too, after a weaker than expected jobs report shows the U.S. lost 92,000 jobs in February. Losses hitting healthcare hard, where nurse strikes weighed on hiring. Government and information sectors also impacted. Unemployment ticking up to 4.4%.
Right now, workers are dealing with is an insecurity in their jobs at the same time that the effects of inflation over the course of 5 years have compounded.
Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve meets in 2 weeks and faces the critical decision on whether or not to cut interest rates,
dragging us right
with the
into
backdrop of weaker hiring and unstable oil prices, renewing fears of inflation.
And it's been a roller coaster on Wall Street. The Dow suffering its worst week in nearly a year, Janae.
Yeah, all right, Andrew, thank you for the...
Let's go check that out. Let's go check out the Dow. But before I go over there, right, I'm gonna check out the Dow Jones. He said it, we're suffering the worst week in forever. But are y'all being directly impacted? I know everybody's being impacted, but it said 90,000 jobs lost. Have anybody been impacted by that? You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. Has anybody been impacted by that? Because the economy is really screwed up, and we're just being dragged into the downfall of wherever they trying to take us. You know what I'm saying? It's real out here. Let's come to Dow Jones. Let's go look at the Dow Jones right here. All right. So they kind of being extreme. This is the entire history of the Dow Jones, right? This is a 3-month time frame. So each one of these candles, right, takes 3 months. So in a 3, 6, 9, 12, in about a year span, right, they're kind of being over dramatic, saying the Dow Jones is whatever, you know, because historically these markets they continue to go up, especially the equities. Historically, they continue to push higher and higher. But let's go down to the monthly. Look how dramatic they're being, right? So historically, the Dow rallies higher, right? But we've had consecutive. Let me show you. Right here to right here. We had about a 9-month stretch of straight bullish price action. And we have 1 month that starts off in a retracement and all hell breaks loose, right? And I believe that's so because we have this market is overinflated. They pretty much pumped air into this market. There's no real value in these markets. These markets are overvalued. They're propped up by made up fiat currency, you know, just printed money out of thin air, right? So they just continue to push. And now we slip, and that little slippage right there creates panic in the markets. That's crazy to me, right? Gentel, no, just been impacted on my XRP. Yeah, I understand, man. It's getting real. It's getting real. They want the impact. They want you suffering. We're going to go over crypto too. I'm not going to leave crypto out. Going to go over crypto. Yep. Lenny, you put yourself on crypto timeout? Yeah, man. A lot of people. This is why I promote this skill set that I'm showing y'all, right? It goes crazy. I'm not even scratching the surface of what I can do and what I see in these markets. I'm just giving you a macro perspective. But I always say, learn this skill set right here. Don't have all your, don't just be all in on crypto. Learn something else dealing with the markets. And you will see there's more doors and more opportunities. Why sell yourself short by going all in on one thing when you can be a specialist? You can specialize. You can be a technician in these markets if you learn the skill set. So I always promote that. But yeah, the Dow Jones, it just retracing right now. What is it retracing into? Right, let's take a little closer look. This is a monthly. I'm gonna go down to lower time frames maybe later. The market currently closed. It's currently valued at 47,500. But check this out. This wick right here, right? You see this long wick? I'm gonna highlight that with a Fibonacci. Boom, right there. So that's what it's trading down into right now. It's a ghost pool. That's what I call a ghost pool, right? So it trades down into it, takes out this low right here, and now it's just ranging. Let's go down to a weekly. We just completed the first week of March. We got, let me see. We got 4 more weeks, right? We got 4 more weeks in March. March is going to be a long one. Time changes Sunday. So look, when we trade down into that monthly wick, I drop down to a weekly, right? I drop down to a weekly time frame. And on the weekly, y'all look over to the left. What kind of candle is this right here? Zoom in a little bit. What kind of candle is this for my studious people that follow me and y'all are learning? What kind of candle is this? Anybody? Going once, going twice? What kind of candle is this? Somebody. It's a bullish what? I'm gonna give you that hint. It's a bullish what? What kind of bullish candle is this? Anybody? Oh man. Okay, shout out to you, Derek. Shout out to you, Lenny. Yes, it's a bullish order block on the weekly time frame. So I'm gonna highlight that, right? Highlight that bullish order block. I'm gonna label it bullish order block right there. Bullish order block, and it's a confluence with the monthly ghost pool, right? So let's just say I hide the monthly ghost pool, and I just highlight that bullish order block, this down close candle. And is it random that we trade right down into it, tap it, and we repel higher? If I go down to like a 5 minute, you will see. Go down to a 5 minute. So look how we on a lower time frame, right? Lower time frame, we trade down into it, right? And we reject off of it, and we consolidate to close the week. So that is the Dow Jones. That is the Dow Jones. Let's keep it moving. Let's go look at some more news headlines. Gentel, you said I was overextended for years, and then now when it was down, I ran out of money in my bank, so I had to sell some XRP and took a huge loss on XDC. Yep, man. This is the thing, Gentel. This was in the cards for us crypto people and enthusiasts and investors, right? They, meaning the institutions, they can play the long game. They know they can play the long game because they're billionaires, right? And trillionaires. So they know us small little retail investors, or us average day Americans that got work jobs, or I just showed that allegedly, or they're reporting that 90,000 jobs got eliminated in this recent announcement with the jobs report, right? And I think it's more than that. They just saying, hey, 90,000 jobs been eliminated, but they know they can play the long game, and they know we're gonna go through some type of life crisis at some point. Life is gonna hit us, and there's gonna be some type of life crisis. And things always come up in life, right? You get a little setback, you get a little hiccup, got to take out a little debt or whatever. That's life. And they know that's the type of game we playing. I mean, that's the type of game they're playing, and they can play the long game. We can't play the long game. We're trying to get to the next level. But I'm here to help y'all out by changing that if you just understand what I'm teaching you. Because you might just be stuck into long-term investing. Let me show you this. Let's come to my X. Come to my X, right? I got all kind of shit over here. I already got it pulled up. I'm gonna show you something. You tell me if it's true or not. I'm gonna show you something. You tell me if it's true or not. Let me scroll. I'm gonna find it. Right here. Boom. Right? Tell me if that's true or not. I should have sold, right? Have you had it? Have you? I'm not laughing at nobody's pain. I'm just saying, like, have you been in the shower, right? Have you been in the shower and you knew XRP went up to that point where you were sitting up probably 6-7 figures, or a nice amount, and you probably was thinking, I should have sold. It's haunting you, right? It's haunting you, right? This ain't look. I should have sold some. I should have sold something. So if that make you feel better, I should have sold. You know what I'm saying? XRP is the only thing I've been long-term investing in. That's the only thing that's like long-term investment for me. Everything else, I'm a trader, right? But that XRP, because of the technology, because of the hype, because of just the information, we know this is huge. We know that XRP is huge, right? But they're playing the long game. And me as a trader, I'm like, damn, I should have shaved off like 50% of it. And I would have been, in a better situation than I am now. But I'm sure a lot of y'all are going through that. Gentel, yes, I'm down 86K. See, that's what I'm talking about. You let it come down. You seen it, you touched it, you smelled, you sat back for months. We're gonna look at XRP. I'm gonna come back to this as well. I'm coming back to that. But yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Let's look at a little bit more news, right? We're gonna come back to all of that, man. This economy is fucked up. These wars, all this. We're gonna get into it. Let me play this.
Our global investment CEO and CIO. Bob, as if that weren't enough, you were one of the thousands of Americans stuck in Dubai when the military action broke out last Saturday. How long did it take you to finally get on a flight home?
4.5 days, including a couple calls in the hotel to move down the lobby in the middle of the night because there were bombs around us. I did see one dispersed with anti-aircraft machinery in the air. Another one hit an empty parking lot and heard lots of bombs. It was a weird, surreal sort of experience.
It sounds almost like this rush, like the fall of Saigon, where people were just desperate to try and get on any kind of aircraft. What airline did you finally get out on?
Emirates to London, and then American from London home. 30 hours, took 30 hours.
Well, that's actually not even that bad. Some people were,
I get you right.
hopscotching all over the place. Well, we're glad you're back safely.
Thank you.
Give us your assessment of all that you've seen in the market since the start of the military campaign, which of course was last Saturday. And then you throw in the jobs report that we got, much weaker than expected, plus the private credit jitters.
Yeah, a lot of things existed before we had the decline. Stock market went nowhere from early October until last Saturday, as people were legitimately worried about all that and yet watched earnings move higher. Now you throw this on top of it. To me, to be real simple, the key is the price of oil. You just talked about it in your last little segment. And look, the markets can handle a temporary spike in oil, but not a prolonged one. So if oil comes back down through whatever means necessary, supply being thrown on the market, the economy should be fine. But if oil stays up here, economic growth will begin to falter, and then these high valuations will have to come in further because earnings estimates will have to come down. Let's hope we don't go there, Liz.
Well, that is the next sort of step, that you start to see people get nervous. They shut their wallets. They don't buy goods. They don't buy services. But that said, you still look at stocks and say, so many of them have finally come down from super high valuations.
Now, is that random? The stock's coming down while inflation kicks in and things get harder. It's not random.
What looks good to you?
Yeah, so I would put my fingers out and try to assess the financials. I know they're down in part because of the credit problem, so I'd be careful of where I went within the financial. But some of the big banks with strong balance sheets, I've gotten hit hard over all of this. As you pointed out a second ago, this is not new with the war. One of the big surprises to me in 2025 was how tight credit spreads remained just about all year long. And now we're beginning to say, maybe I should be a little more careful about that credit, and those spreads will widen. If they widen a whole lot further, that's another threat to the economy, so we have to watch that very carefully.
Boy, it sure is amazing how quickly the herd can shift direction and sentiment can turn on a dime. We saw it over the past couple of months with some of the big chip makers, but actually, tech is looking relatively decent on a day like this, which is interesting. So maybe those valuations, investors have gotten smart enough to really look and say, wait a minute, this was trading at a 42 PE, but now it's more like 29, and that looks a little more attractive. So what is the number?
And
go ahead.
I would also throw in that of the earnings growth in the fourth quarter, and it was a good earnings report, 60% of the earnings gains came from technology. So these companies are still producing the goods, and everybody's worried about what.
But yeah, let's look at some stocks, man. Let's look at some stocks. Let's look at the stock market. Appreciate y'all joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. We just getting some updates of the economy. I'm going over the charts. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull the stock market up. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here. All right, let's look at different variant stocks. Some things are down, some things are consolidating. Well, what's some stocks y'all are interested in right now? So we got Apple at $257 per share. It's coming off a high of 288. We got Nvidia 177. It's coming off a high of 212. Microsoft trading at 408. It's coming off a high of 555. So yeah, Microsoft looks like a good discount. Amazon currently trading at 213. Coming off a high of 258. It's not too much discounted. They're still pretty expensive. I'm not even gonna lie. Meta 644, coming off a high of almost $800. Tesla 396, right? $396. It's coming off of a high of 498. Google 298, coming off a high of 301. And we got Palantir. Palantir should be booming right now, right? Because, you know, it's a technology. It's at 157, and the high was 207. Good morning, Chantel. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining, right? We're going over the news. We're going over the charts. We're getting the sentiment of the economy, right? We're getting the sentiment of the economy. What else can I go over? Everything. Let me clear this out. All right. Let's go over some more this job shit. You know, 92,000 jobs lost. What does this mean for the economy? I think, bro, like, we're gonna go over some shit. Like, I think this is pulling us into a Great Depression, if not worse, right? We might have an economic collapse. And I think we're seeing the early signs of World War III. I'm not even gonna lie. I know we knocking on, and I'm not no fear mongering, but I just been doing research. I think this is the early signs of World War III. And just pray for the world, man. Pray for the world.
Unexpected setback for the labor market. The U.S. lost 92,000 jobs in February. Some economists had been predicting a gain of 60,000 jobs. The unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.4%. Kelly O'Grady joins us now to break all of these numbers down. Kelly, great to see you. What do you think was behind this drop-off?
So specifically in February, Regis, I kind of want to add an asterisk to the drop because we had all of that bad weather, the blizzards. We saw a pretty significant drop in the leisure and hospitality sector because of that. 27,000 jobs were lost. And then also in healthcare, normally a big driver of job growth in the U.S. dropped 28,000. And that was because of a strike and one of the biggest healthcare firms in the country, Kaiser Permanente. So that's not something that you're going to see every single month. That being said, there were also revisions to the December numbers. We had thought we added jobs in the month of December, but we actually lost jobs. So you sort of zoom out,
they playing games.
And 3 of the last 5 months, you saw a job loss. So we've talked about this slow to hire, slow to fire job market. I talked to a couple of folks today that they're saying, well, maybe we're kind of moving towards a slow to no hire job market, but we haven't seen mass firing. So that 4.4% unemployment number that you see on your screen right now, that is still in the healthy range. It's at the upper band, but definitely not something that you want to see. This is a
Okay, I get it. So the job market, they pushing different narratives, but I don't think it's looking good. Let's come over to X right quick. Let's go over some X things. I like to go on X. I like to get some good laughter. I like to get some up-to-date stuff. So we got Kuwait, right? Kuwait confirms it has cut oil production, right? So that's breaking news today. Kuwait, they signed deals. They're cutting oil production, and you already know that's going to rise the prices of oil. Just in, oil prices up almost 40%. Oil is the lifeblood of the world economy. This cannot go on for the economic destruction. It will be massive. Poverty will skyrocket, and it will affect all of us. And then tie that into what we're seeing with the job reports that they're lying about is worse than what it looks, right? So if you got a job, hold on to that shit. and learn different skills, right? Because you already know AI, robotics. I'm gonna go over some AI and robotics as well. Man, the robotics is getting crazy, right? It's getting crazy. I mean, we're here. Like, we were in the next maybe 5 years, we're gonna have Terminators. In the next 5 years, we're gonna have Terminators out here. I never thought we would get to that. We'll come to that day, right? So, and the Terminators are gonna be replacing everybody. So, what skill? I always say this. And it don't have to be trading either. What skill can you obtain that's going to make you valuable and stand out from everybody else? What skill are you going to get that's going to be needed to manage all of this AI and robotic? That's what you should be looking into right now. And you need to put your head down and go for it. Whatever you need to do, whatever you wanted to do in life, put your head down now and go for that shit. Right? So it's getting crazy out here. $5 a gallon in San Francisco. $5 a gallon in San Francisco for what? To fight Iran for Israel? See, people mad, man. How long until Americans have had enough? Ooh, it sounds like this guy's calling for a riot, a protest. But yeah, man, they drug us into this. Like in San Francisco, if you want to buy gas, regular gas, cash, $4.95. But if you swipe out that debit card or credit card, it's gonna be $5.05, and then the premium is $5.55. And diesel is not cheap as well. Diesel prices going up. These people are robbing us, man. They taxing us, they robbing us, and you know what you gonna do about it? Let me read the chat. Real life 4598. I'm in automation and robotics, electrical and programming. Shout out to you, real life, man. How does that go in real life? How is that automation and robotics? What do you see from your perspective? Are you seeing like, so if you're in that, now I'm gonna ask you this question. Being that you're in it, are you gonna be somebody who's gonna be a maintenance guy of the stuff, or are you replacing yourself? I gotta ask you that. Are you building this stuff to replace yourself, or are you gonna be like in a position where you can, when the shit breaks down like a robot breaks, you can go in there and fix it and manage it? Which position are you gonna be putting yourself in? What's up, Omar? Shout out to you. If y'all just joined, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Let's keep it moving. Germany without Russia and Middle East oil and gas. So right now, I guess they on horse and buggy, right? You know, that's what we about to be getting to. We're gonna be walking as well, right? So this is Germany. They're trading in euros, so it's 350 in Germany. So the euro is a little bit more valued than the dollar, and the pound is a little bit more higher value than the dollar. And you can see it's already 350. But how is it 350 across the board? I don't know. I thought diesel was a little bit more. Real-time gas prices. St. Lucia County, Florida, right? Shout out to people that's in Florida. Are you seeing high gas prices? But regular gas in Florida, $3.35. Premium gas, $4.13. And diesel, $4.25 in Florida. Real life. The data center is the new wave for all the new tech. Everyone should know some type of programming. Yep. I'm into becoming. I'm damn near looking into becoming a technician, data engineer, data center engineer. God damn it, because I know those are like the plumbers of this shit. God heavens. All right, we're gonna get into some of this other shit as well. That the Steam stuff. Death to America. Death to America. Death to Trump. I'm going to bomb the plane. A terrifying moment. We need to stop importing people who hate our country. So we got a lot of this going on. We got some red flags in the country. So let's check this out. I'm gonna play it. This is going on. Now he's really doing this in 2026, bro. Y'all be careful traveling. Y'all be careful on the planes, right?
Death to America, death to the flag. Going to bomb the flag. Death to America, death to Trump. Allahu Akbar.
See, we not playing, bro. We cannot go for this. A motherfucker just jump up talking about death to America. We gonna bomb the plane. You gotta knock them out, right? You can't just sit there and do nothing. What's wrong with us? Didn't we learn from 9/11? If a motherfucker hop up on the plane, you just gonna sit there and let him do it? You gotta knock his ass out. You gotta just knock him the fuck out, right? Because like, what is going on?
Going to bomb the plane. America.
He gonna bomb the plane. You gotta knock him out, and I'll deal with the consequences later. Like TSA and authorities. He said he's gonna bomb the plane. We got it on video. We'll worry about the repercussions later. We ain't getting no assault charge. We saved the plane, right? We gotta knock him out.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
There we go. There we go. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Sit down. Don't move.
There y'all go. Yeah, so we had a few men step up, man. This man was losing his goddamn mind. We is not playing that right now, okay? It's not the time. It is not the time to be talking about bomb the plane, right? We not going for that. So good job to those gentlemen. So yeah, I guess yesterday we concluded from the White House, we concluded a very good meeting with the largest U.S. defense manufacturer companies where we discussed production, right? They talking about producing weapons. They have agreed to quadruple production for the exquisite class weaponry and that we want to reach as rapidly as possible. The highest levels of quantity expansion began 3 months prior to the meeting, and plants and production of many of these weapons are already underway. We have a virtually unlimited supply of medium and upper medium grade munitions, which we are seeing as an example in Iran and recently in Venezuela. Regardless, however, we have also increased orders at these levels. The companies represented were the CEOs of Bay Systems, Boeing, Honeywell Aerospace, L3 Harris Missile Solutions, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon. So we got all the big dogs in there, all the government contractors. They're about to be producing, they about to be in the money, right? They're about to be producing munitions and bombs and weapons to get this shit more prolonged, because there's the rumor that we're running out of munitions. And that is leaving us open, you know, to another threat, right? This is my theory. I think we're overextended fighting these wars. And if you know history, if you get overextended, bad things can happen, right? And this was Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump, unlimited supply of munitions. So how are we gonna have who's gonna fund that, right? Who's gonna pay for the unlimited supply of munitions, right? That's gonna be us, me, you, and the rest of the world, right? We just concluded a very good meeting with the U.S. Defense. They have agreed to quadruple production of exquisite class of weaponry that we want to reach. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We have a virtually unlimited supply, medium and upper. So that's Trump. Trump mentioned that, right? So yeah, this is what I mean by the robotics, right? This might be what socialized production in China look like in the future. So yeah, man, y'all ready for this? We're not even gonna have immigrants working our lands and shit no more, right? They're already getting them out of here, but this could be a good thing. This could be a bad thing. What do people, you know, this is back to the roots, literally. If we can't grow our own food because of machines and shit and robotics, then, you know, they're going to try to make us obsolete. Read the chat. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe. Appreciate y'all joining. What else? Most people think oil is just oil. It's not. So yeah, there's different grades of oil. You got light golden, Iran light, you know, Russian, whatever. They all come in different Celsius. They're heavier. Some's lighter. Some has different uses and use cases. So look at Iran oil, USA oil, Venezuela oil, and Russia oil. So we got different grades of oil, and they all got different purposes. You know, it's almost like that cocaine. You know, Colombia got that grade A, and you know the stuff over here in the States, it might be a little watered down, right? This is an interesting photo. When you realize they will be gone in 10 to 15 years, right? So I already got one gone, but these guys don't have too much longer, right? So this is who running the world, and they're gonna be dead probably less than 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Unless they are something else. I ain't gonna get into that. 21 gallons, $100. That's crazy. Let me see, what else? Just in, so I remember they were saying like the UK, they didn't want the US using none of their facilities, but they pretty much opened up the door. So US starts to use UK bases for specific defense operations against Iran. So they, you know, America can strike the Middle East quicker. Look, this is y'all right here, the crypto people, the world right now, and the crypto guys, right? Y'all out golfing, acting like, you know, any day now. Let me see. So much stuff I can get into. Red states getting warmongered the hardest. So we got the largest week in gas price increase, right? Largest weekly gas price increases. So we got Laredo, Texas, right? 72-cent increase, Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is so random. These different places got a increase in gas in 1 week, which is like, how do they determine where they're going to raise the price of gas the most? And let me keep scrolling. Yeah, people feeling it, man. People feeling it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Breaking. The U.S. is critically depleting its weapons stockpile in the war with Iran, and China's over there rubbing their hands together, right? If we're depleting our weapons, China's like, oh, that's the opportunity. So be on the lookout. That's crazy. I want to play this video right here. This guy was pretty, this Chinese guy or whatever, he's pretty intelligent. I'm going to play this video. Let's pull it up.
So as you can see from this map, this war, it is the end of the world, okay? Both sides have the potential to destroy each other. It's really a question of how far do they want to go, all right? We can also say this is almost a game of chicken, okay? We can blow each other up. How far do you want to go? And the problem is this. The problem is that the Iranians are Shia, which believes in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So they're willing to go very, very far. The GCC countries are Muslim, but they're materialistic. They love money. And also, most of the population are expatriates, foreigners. 90% of Dubai are foreigners. Guess what's going to happen if they suffer? They're going to run away. Okay? So this is not a fair matchup. The big question that people have is, first of all, are the Americans going to use ground troops? Because the only way that you can defeat Iran is by using ground troops, okay? That's a big question we will look at over the next few weeks. Will America send its army, 500,000, 2 million soldiers to topple the government? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, nuclear weapons. If you're losing a war, would you choose to use nuclear weapons? Okay, that's another big question that we have, okay? Now, another big question that we have is who gets involved? Because this situation is so dire that Europe, okay, specifically Germany, France, and Britain are talking about entering this war. And guess what? If that happens, it is possible that Russia and China will also enter this war on the side of the Iranians. This is World War III, okay? Because of the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, because of the importance of the Middle East, everyone has to get involved at some point.
So what y'all think, man? What y'all think? I mentioned it earlier. I think this is the start of a major World War III. I think it's a start, bro. I don't think there's no coming back from that. Just trying to get y'all input, man. Like, and then do y'all, for another reason, I don't like to, you know, we can talk on my channel. So do y'all think they're gonna like? I think in my lifetime we're gonna see a nuclear bomb. That's just me, and you know, that's it after that, bro. It's gonna be it after that. So y'all do the best y'all can. You know what I'm saying, in life. But this is in California, right? $8 a gallon for gas and $9 for diesel, right? What's up, Texas Plates? Real life. We could start an organization, C Corp. I'm thinking about going into farms, cows, chickens, and goats. Definitely do that, real life. That's a smart thing to do, especially if you get some money. Quinn, shout out to you, Quinn. It's coming. Yep, I agree, Quinn. Central bank one world order. Yep. Breaking. We already went over oil. Went over oil. China preparing to bolster Iran with military aid. U.S. intelligence officials are monitoring signs that China may be preparing to provide Iran with limited assistance, including financial support, spare parts, and missile components. If materialized, such assistance could help Iran replenish depleted stocks amid heavy missile usage and losses. Many people wonder why Iran holds such strategic importance for China. A key reason is that Iran and Venezuela together supplied approximately 15 to 17% of China's crude oil imports in 2025. It's now becoming evident to observers that significant supply stream is on the verge of being severely disrupted or cut off entirely. The question is how China will handle this situation. And I think they're going to do kind of like similar to what we helped Ukraine with. Russia and China is going to help out Iran. I mean, this is a fight for their existence, right? Iran is fighting for their existence. So they got to go down. They got to go down in the blaze. You know, it's life or death. So let's play that. Look at this, man. Look at China, man.
我命令全军各级要强化练兵备战鲜明导向，
Oh shit.
坚定不移把军事训练摆在战略位置，作为中心工作，抓住不放，抓出成效。要坚持领导带头，以上率下，坚持实战实训，连战连训，坚持按纲施训，从严治训。
Ah, shit. Soldiers took an oath in front of the military flag after Z gave his orders. So they just sitting back ready, bro. Why is China posturing and bolstering? Everybody militarized right now, right? So it's going down, right? We gonna see it. You just protect your children, right? Because they got rapists and stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They preparing, man. They just, you know. And look, they not running through their munitions. They not running through their shit. The only thing with China, right, is they don't have the experience. They don't have war experience like the U.S. and other nations. So when it goes down, right, and I don't want it to go down, y'all. I don't want this shit to go down. But if it goes down, it's gonna be devastating, man. It's gonna be devastating. Man, they got way more men. A lot of manpower, man. A lot of manpower. More than 4,000 parades were set up at the same time across the country. God damn. We need to get our numbers up, bro. They look. Compare them to our young soldiers, man. Gentel. We gonna get into it, bro. Y'all gotta come out this. Bro, I'm just here to spread the news, bro. I'm just here to spread the news. You gotta, you know, you seeing it, right? You're not gonna see it on the mainstream media. They're gonna steer the narrative, but that's the thing about social media. X, everything is being revealed. You just gotta know what you're looking for. So while we're over here distracted by Iran and what's going on, China is in the East preparing. You just seen it. You just witnessed it, right? They're getting prepared to make whatever movements they're going to make. I don't know what they're going to do, but you can see the chessboard moving, right? And I already said we are too overextended in the West. And Hitler did the same thing. He got overextended, and that's how he failed. He lost. So I don't know, man. I don't. And everybody's dangerous. That's another thing. Everybody's dangerous in this conflict. Let's play this video right here. Wait a minute. TZ, you said North Korea is the wild card. Yep, they just over there quiet, man. Real life, central bank, one world order. Yep. What's up, AWB? Yeah, man, y'all smash that like button, subscribe. We're gonna get into the charts before I get out of here. I'm just informing y'all. So see, Jantel, you didn't realize how real it is. So clearly I'm making an impact by doing this, right? I'm not gonna do this every time, but sometimes we gotta have a pause in just the markets and we gotta realize other aspects, right? So that's all I'm trying to do. Hopefully I'm doing a good job.
Regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. What the fuck? It often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for
So
the
fuck me
future.
then, right?
And it is
I'm gonna fucking die.
We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their
Pray
lives
for me, man. Pray. What?
Americans.
So we're
pray
gonna
for
fight
every
Israel's
service
fight,
member as
right?
they selflessly
Fuck the
risk their
Americans. We're all
lives
gonna
to
fucking
serve
die. That's what he
Americans
just fucking
and
said.
children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
We're gonna fight Israel's fight. Are you fucking kidding me? Americans are gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die.
The men and women of the armed
Yeah,
forces.
man. Pray for the kids, man.
Got me fucked up. I gotta go to fucking war for that guy, for Israel. America's gonna fucking die. Fuck.
Damn, he said it, bro. He said it on TV. Trump said that shit, man. So it's like, you know, he said that shit. So that's crazy to me, right? That's crazy. Let's see.
The United States of America is a... Because the president of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile! And the Israelis gathered blackmail on him through Jeffrey Epstein for fucking decades, knowing that if they could get that cocksucker into the fucking Oval, then they would finally get exactly what they have wanted for the past 47 years, which is to destroy Iran! That is the state of this fucking world!
Hey, man. Perspectives, right? Perspectives. I knew something was off when I saw Trump prayed by the religious leaders in the White House. Let's watch this.
A warehouse blew up. I don't think you guys understand. This was an explosion in Miami yesterday. Just so happened, a warehouse blew up. This was an explosion that happened in New Jersey. Yeah.
And yes, this is current, y'all. So things are blowing up nationwide again.
Yesterday. Again, another warehouse just magically blew up. And then I'm getting word that this hospital had to be shut down, which is the largest U.S. military hospital outside of the United States, serving American military personnel. And what I'm being told is there are tons of American soldiers being brought in, bodies on bodies on bodies. So much so that they had to shut down the labor and delivery ward because it was full of American soldiers. If you think that these things are just coincidental or that our American media is telling the truth, man, you better wake up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to send you to the comment section so people can fill you in of what's taking place, because there's some stuff that I'm just not allowed to say on here.
Gentel, do you think Trump realized he fucked up now? I don't know, man. I don't know what we witnessing sometimes. I don't know if he a part of it or if he's being set up. You know what I'm saying? Look at that right there. This is the funniest shit ever. You know, I don't get too deep into this right here. That's not my lane because, you know, I got other stuff to do, but I will report it. But this is what they're saying, you know, that's what they saying right there. Let me see what else we can talk about. This guy's pretty interesting. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, so Friday, March 6th, I believe, with the general and some early morning thoughts. So the war with Iran will be a multiple decade long engagement. A lot of people are underestimating how much money it's going to cost. It's going to cost, based on my estimates and the numbers I ran, anywhere, that's kind of funny, Iran, anywhere from $5 to $10 trillion more. Okay, so this is going to be a massive, costly, debt-ridden, not just destruction phase through war and attacks and bombing raids and loss of human life in cities, but of course then they got to rebuild it. So then they're going to hire BlackRock. BlackRock's going to extort trillions of dollars from the American people, basically steal all your money that way. And then they'll rebuild Iran with a puppet leader, much like Zelensky. So it's going to be long. It's going to be tiresome. It's going to take troops on the ground. It's going to be multiple decades. It's going to cost and assure, really, and just put the death cross straight into the heart of America for good. And again, your dirty politicians, your dirty-ass, traitorous, illegal central criminal banks have now destroyed the entire country to the point where they have no other option left but to blow up the system, blow up other countries, hyperinflate everything while wiping out the middle class for good, and then declaring a brand new solution that they always had pre-planned because it's a freaking inside job, which is going to be the new upgraded US dollar stablecoin that I predicted and told you about like decades ago. So that's all that's going to happen. Oil prices are skyrocketing, so keep your eye on that. And keep your eye on the Strait of Hormuz, because if there isn't the safe, clear passage of our ships, cargo, supplies, but more importantly, oil, which that's a huge bottleneck. And if Iran continues to attack American ships, just like we saw a very underreported strike off the Indian Ocean where a U.S. submarine just blew the crap out of a huge frigate warship, an Iranian warship, then expect all bets off. Again, China is the real beast here, and you're in a regional world war. The definition of world war is multiple conflagrations at once happening in different parts of the world that are long, drawn out, costly, and cost a lot of people their lives. And that's what you're in. You're in an AI technological robotic war, which are the new weapons. We also had job numbers coming today, which are absolutely terrible. I mean, a lot of people don't even want to work anymore. A lot of Americans are just completely lazy at this point. Another reason that the country is collapsing, but also keep in mind that the elites don't need workers. They don't need you. They're replacing you, dude. And I told you this for years. If you comply and do what you're told and take the pokey in your arm and do all those things, you're literally going to be depopulated and exterminated, which is what is happening now because they don't need your ass. No, they're going to throw peasants, the new peasants, on UBI, Universal Basic Income. And they're going to bankrupt you and your family and steal all of your wealth and lock you in your freaking house and poison shot you to death, which is just what they did. And for those of you that don't know, for example, there is still no legal liability for Big Pharma on the biggest drug they supposedly ever invented. And that lasts well through, with extensions, all the way to the New World Order Illuminati special year of 2030. We go back to The Economist magazine, of course, and it showed us a lot of chaos, right? It was like a soccer ball kickoff of massive chaos in the financial system, the financial markets, the world economy. Oh, and there was a cargo ship firing on the United States 250-year anniversary. So here's probably my biggest message for all you tuning in. There's going to be a major event in the United States in the next 30 days. Major event. Can't tell you what it is, but there will be a major event. You ask God what it is. You pray about it. And there's going to be something major, God forbid. I'm praying against it, but something really bad is going to happen. The elites set your ass up. These demonic pedophiles, these literal freaking demon criminals, the American people continue to allow to lead. And they've done nothing to right-size the government. You failed, not you, but the American people have failed in every way, believing the lies of the mainstream media, believing in politics. Politics is fake. None of it is real. You've been conned. There are royal families, kings and queens in charge, and behind them, the real oligarchs and the wealthiest families in the world control in perpetuity every puppet CEO, alleged president that ever steps into the office. And this is why it doesn't matter if it's George Bush or it's Hillary Clinton or it's the Obamas or even Trump, whom I love. Because the black suits get to these people every single time, and they usher in endless wars and chaos, and they usher in endless debt. And so do not underestimate that the war in Iran is a multi-deca-trillion engagement. Your kids are now screwed. America is dead. The US dollar has officially collapsed. And there's not much time left to get out of the banks, to buy Bitcoin, to get decentralized, to join other Christians, to fight back, to become and be a part of the solution. And you better be getting rich in this environment, because if you're not, you're going to be absolutely freaking destroyed. God bless. Trump's getting rich. Notice all the elites are getting richer. Every bomb they drop puts more money in their pocket.
Yeah, man. Shit. I mean, he hit every point, man. Cause yeah, they in these trades, they in these markets. Every time, you know, as conflict goes on, they're already positioned in the market. Y'all can see that clearly, right? AWB, AMTV Media on X. AMTV Media. That's the name of his page. But yeah, he hit every point, man. Let's come over here. Let's look at the stock market right quick, right? Let's go look at the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So, yeah, man, this market right here is starting to slip. It's starting to show weakness. This is the NASDAQ, right? It's starting to slip and show weakness. I believe it's coming down, y'all. It's coming down. And it's coming for these lows under here. And then it could pretty much, man, we might get something severe. It's the early beginning stages of it where we can see let's look at something realistic. This is a monthly chart, right? Monthly chart. And we have a fair value gap down here. Now, this might not look like a far distance, but it's very significant. It can definitely impact the financial markets if it even tries to attempt to come right here, right? I'm gonna show you how many points that is in the NASDAQ. So that fair value gap, that is from June 2025. And what if we cut through that, right? I don't know how severe this can get. What if we cut through this fair value gap and trade invert it, and we come lower? Well, we got a order block plus another fair value gap. But let's see how many points that is. Right now, the NASDAQ is at 24,600, right? And if it sells off to come down to this level right here, it's about a 2,000 point drop or a $2,000 drop in the NASDAQ. And if it comes down any lower down here, that'll be about a 3,600 point drop in the NASDAQ. So that's significant is when we're talking about the global stock market, right? A lot of people are just not getting into stocks, people investing, whatever, and people are going to get liquidated because guess what? They're buying at premiums. If you're buying stocks, right, you're buying it at premiums. We're at all-time high levels. So if you was to go, I want to buy this stock, it looks cheap. Well, guess what? The overall market is at a premium. You're buying it at a premium. So what you think the market makers are going to want to do? For one, they're already in short positions. Most of y'all that invest, y'all not thinking of shorting the market. Us over here that's in the trading community, we're going to take advantage of any shorts, right? We're going to take advantage of the movement. So we're going to be in there with them as long as they permit, as long as they allow us to get in these markets, because they can raise margins, they can do all kind of stuff. But as long as they allow us to trade, I'm going to be participating in the shorts coming down, right? I'm going to be trading with them. But if you're a long-term investor and you just throw money at stocks and you don't think you don't like to watch your money, you don't like to watch the market, you're probably going to get hurt real bad, right? You're going to get hurt real bad. So they're going to do damage to these markets. And this is my draw from a long-term perspective, right? A sell-off. Remember this. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to clip it. I did the same thing with XRP. This is my draw on liquidity, where it's most likely going to trade to if we roll over. That's why I want to see it go right there. Boom. And that's around 22,600. Let me read the chat. AWB, you heard Peter. They're solid. They sold all the stock positions in his fund. I haven't heard that. That's news to me, right? That's news to me. It's so much news, bro. I can't even keep up with it all. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. So that's the NASDAQ. Let's look at the S&P 500. So these markets, so the guy I was just watching, AMTV guy, he was just saying, man, they're setting up for a crash, right? And these markets have been staged. They're being staged, and they've been staged for months, pretty much since last October. They've been in a consolidation. And all of this has been planned out beforehand. I believe this stuff was planned out before Trump even got back into office. So that's just my perspective. And they're staging it for it to drop. and there's a lot of orders below the market that they might want to run for. And if it drops, it could be a low resistance liquidity run where it goes quick. You know what I'm saying? They're going to rip the Band-Aid off quick. So we're going to see. We're going to see. So that's the S&P 500. I already looked over at the Dow. The Dow starting to slip. So they're all lining up to drop, right? Because they're at premiums. They want to short the market at premiums. They want to buy at discounts. That's exactly what's going on. They want to give themselves a nice fat discount while they liquidate everybody out these markets. So that's what's going on. Let's get into a little bit of let's see. Let's get into some AI, right? Let's look what they're doing with AI and robotics. So let's check this out.
Phantom, a 5'11", 100
Let me start it over.
humanoid. Meet Phantom, a 5'11", 180-pound humanoid robot that could become the next American soldier.
180 pounds, y'all. How many of y'all in here weigh more than or don't weigh 180 pounds? I know we got some big people in here, but who in here don't weigh 180 pounds? Well, this robot, they're ranging from 180 pounds to 220 pounds. So, yeah, man, they're making humanoids.
Soldier.
To be clear, you're not just open to arming robots. Part of what they've been designed for is actual warfare.
Yes. Mike LeBlanc.
You heard it. They're designing these robots for the military, for warfare. I mean, and here we are. We about to waste all our soldiers, right? All these countries about to waste all this flesh and blood for nothing, just to be replaced by robots. Come on, man. Make it make sense.
Meet Phantom, a 5'11", 180-pound humanoid robot that could become the next American soldier.
To be clear, you're not just open to arming robots. Part of what they've been designed for is actual warfare.
Yes. Mike LeBlanc, a former Marine and Harvard business grad, is one of the heads of Foundation, a San Francisco-based robotics firm that is unabashedly trying to bring humanoid robots to the battlefield.
This is a shotgun, right? In the hands of a criminal, it's terrifying. In the hands of a sheriff, it could be a godsend.
He co-founded the company with Sanket Pathak.
These are the Generation 1 hands of Phantom.
He's an accomplished electrical and computer engineer who started coding when he was just 12.
Is there any part of you that's concerned about how this technology might be used or frankly abused in the future?
Oh yeah, this is a double-edged sword. You do want these technologies to be a net positive for humanity, but you can't pretend that they would always be.
If even you have fears and you're at the helm of the technology, what should people take away from that?
I think it's a good thing to be aware of it, not a bad thing. Anything you build could be used for evil, could be used for good. And it really comes down to people as to what choices they make.
The founders gave us rare access to their lab, where they are constantly pushing Phantom to its limits, testing the robot's software and hardware in an effort to improve reliability and balance.
How easy would it be for someone to just knock it over?
Increasingly harder.
Give it a little push now. Can I try pushing it? Yeah. All right, let me try. Yeah, I mean, it's sturdy. Okay, sorry, guys.
The untimely fall didn't seem to faze the team. They tell us each failure teaches them something new, and within minutes offered to demo the robot again with a software upgrade they've been experimenting with that utilizes AI to boost stability.
All right, so this is round 2 with AI. Yeah. All right. All right. Sturdier this time around.
Foundation has already scored at least $18 million in U.S. military contracts with the Army, Air Force, and Navy, largely for research and eventually using the robots to build equipment and transport supplies. But the company says it's also in talks with the Trump administration to use the robots on a battlefield, which could include translating for soldiers, leading rescue operations, and even firing weapons.
You know it's coming. With the military, they have been adamant that military personnel will approve every single pull of a trigger, just as they would with a drone strike.
Humans would still control what to do, AI would control how to do it.
Humans are still calling the shots, but the robot would be able to utilize AI to figure out how to get it done.
In context of defense, that is accurate, yes.
We reached out to the Department of Defense for comment, but didn't hear back. Meanwhile, Foundation is already working with Ukraine's government to send 2 of its robots to the war-torn region by the end of the month to help with military reconnaissance. It's the kind of technology Hollywood blockbusters have been built on.
Yeah, man.
There are 6 different Terminator movies, all centered around the fact that this is a terrible idea. Why shouldn't people be concerned?
Well, the Terminator movies come out because we love movies about robots. We're really going to have to deal with these robots responsibly one way or another because the technology is here, and America is not the only one with the technology.
At a military parade in Beijing last year, China showed off so-called robot wolves, 4-legged machines perched on armored vehicles. And UB Tech, a Chinese-based company, recently released video of what appeared to be more than 100 of its humanoid robots.
Y'all ready?
Ominously marching.
Are y'all ready?
And just this month, Chinese state TV showcased humanoid robots wielding weapons while doing martial arts.
Are y'all ready?
I think when we get to arming robots, we get into a much more complex moral area.
David DeCause is a professor at Santa Clara University and has been researching the ethics of war for the past 30 years, including the use of AI and machines.
You think it raises some ethical questions?
I definitely do. Who is responsible for making decisions in which human life is involved? And if it's a robot, even a program robot, I think that responsibility gets diminished in a problematic way.
For those who argue other countries are doing it, so we should too, what do you say to that?
A race to the bottom with these things is not a race that I think, as Americans, we want to pursue.
Some of the world's leading robotics companies, including Foundation's top competitors, have famously pledged to not weaponize their robots. In an open letter, 6 tech firms said arming robots would create new risks of harm.
Why do you believe they're wrong and you're right?
I very much look from the front lines, and I think there's no tool that I'm not willing to give to our American soldiers when they have to go into combat.
LeBlanc served 8 years active duty in the Marines, including tours in Iraq and Afghanistan.
You've lost people on the battlefield. Do you think back on those situations and wonder how it may have played out differently if you had a humanoid alongside you?
100%. I can remember one time we had lost a sniper team when I was in Afghanistan, and we conducted a 72-hour search. So we had hundreds of Marines that were going out to all of these contested areas to try to go look for them. That kind of search for those kinds of hours, that is perfect deployment of a humanoid.
But for now, Phantom is getting put to work in other ways. Over the past year, an auto manufacturing plant in Atlanta has used the robots on its assembly line. Phantom doing the tasks of 3 people by working 24-hour shifts.
The standard line with robots is that they take over the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs, and I think that's exactly what they're doing.
When we first visited Foundation late last year, much of the headquarters was empty.
This is going to be the first production manufacturing cell for Phantom.
Starting Phantom in 3, 2, 1.
Now the facility can build a robot a day, using machinery and a team of engineers. But the tech company eventually plans to use its own robots to build even more robots, close to 30,000 by the end of next year. Bigatchaban, NBC Bay Area News.
Hey, man. Hey. Shep, you say you missed the 90s? Hey, this stuff is we're rapidly advancing, right? We're rapidly advancing. We in the lights, we're in warp speed as far as technology, man. It's going faster and faster. Even from the early 2000s, I say right around 2008 when this shit started going crazy. And once we hit the 2010s, it advanced really fast. So yeah, if y'all not keeping up with this stuff, man, the 4th industrial revolution is here. It's here. We in the moment right now. And then the AI, the tech is getting out of hand, bro. You can't even, man, it's getting crazy. What's up, Jay Manson? Real life. They don't have people with the trade background to work on them. Easy way to make 100 plus. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like, so the jobs, even though these things are going to be replacing jobs, right? You need to, if you need to find out what kind of skills, if you're into it, what kind of skills do you need to be able to work on these things? Because then, well, this company right here, Phantom, they said they're going to be making their own robots to make robots. So you might not have a job with that as well. So they're definitely trying to figure out the solution of making robots make robots. So they're going to pretty much replace the technician. Lenny, until we have better tech, until we have better battery tech, it's we're far from this reality. Okay, I think they moving fast. AWB with those robots. I'm reading, my bad. The robots looks like in the 5-10 years before manual labor gets huge impact. So you saying in the next 5 to 10 years, manual labor will get a huge impact. Lenny, I worked in robotics. The videos look good, but we are far from mass deployment of robots. Okay. I believe you, Lenny. I believe you. And then we got another guy in here, real life. You say you work in automation and robotics too. Real life, parts wear out, battery just like EV, they overheats. Okay, that's good information, man. That's kind of heartfelt for me. You know what I'm saying? That should be good news for a lot of people. And then we're not even gonna talk about them putting 18-wheelers on the truck, automated 18-wheelers on the road. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be pretty much crazy as well. And I don't think they're ready for that neither. Let's look at gold, right? Let's look at gold. So what's gold doing right now? Go down to the monthly time frame. Gold currently trading at $5,170, right? They're offering themselves a discount, I would say. Gold is still bullish. This ain't coming down. Don't believe for 1 minute they're gonna bring gold down. No, they're offering a discount. Look at this wick on the monthly, right? That wick. I'm gonna layer that wick right there from that opening price. The closing price up to that high. And you can see it's trading inside of this ghost pool right here. So that's what gold is doing. Let's go down to a weekly. Last week we opened up right here, traded down. When we traded down, we traded it to what? Y'all tell me in the chat on the weekly time frame. What is this candle right here? What is that candle right there? Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe. I appreciate y'all joining on this Saturday. What is that candle right there for my TA people? I'm mainly a TA channel. I'm just covering news. I'm trying to give it a little mix up. I kind of want to be like a, give I want to give some of these fundamental, what's going on in the world type things, but we're going to get back strictly to a TA, but that's what I specialize in, the TA. Specialize in TA, technical analysis, and but we got to give some context to the global economy in the world. And yes, y'all are right. Bullish order block. We trade down into that, boom, on the weekly, we reject off of that. And we're trading, gold is just consolidating. So gold traders are, because they know it's bullish, right? They're having a hard time going long in gold because it's being highly manipulated. This little drop down was not random. Everybody that's chasing gold, and when I say chasing, I'm talking about buying the futures contracts. Everybody that's chasing gold, right, bullish, they surprisingly liquidated them with this unanticipated sell-off this week. And when they did that, they liquidated a lot of gold traders out the market. So they're making it hard for you even to get into gold, even though we all know gold is going probably to $10,000. They're not allowing you to get in on this, right? They're not letting you get in on this at these levels. We're at all-time high levels. And if you're trying to buy it at these levels, they're knocking you out the market. That's gold. Let's look at silver. Silver, similar, doing the same thing, right? It's a monthly time frame on silver. They're offering themselves a discount. It trades down. When it trades down, look at this wick right here. Trades down into that wick. I'm gonna highlight that wick. 1 second. Let's highlight that wick right here. Trades down into that wick. I can add some more levels to it. My eighths, boom, right there. I can add the eighths. I can add the 16ths. So when I add these levels, right, I'm looking to see if there's strength or weakness. So I'm gonna add the 16ths, monthly time frame. Price trades down right to this level right here. Not random. rejects off of it, finds support, and it rallies higher. So that's where we close so far. We got 24 days left in the month. Go down to the weekly, and this is what it looks like on the weekly. Trade down. Bullish order block over here to the left. Trade down into it. And now it's becoming high resistance. That's exactly what it's becoming. High resistance. So silver trading at $84. Is it random before the conflict in the Middle East, the third Gulf War, that gold and silver broke out? Prior to that, now oil is breaking out. So all commodities are starting to break out and, come out of their dormant state. They ran silver up into 2025. They ran gold up into 2025 prior to us going into a global conflict, which I think is going to spread into World War III. So they already positioned themselves, the elites, the rich, the wealthy, they already positioned themselves in their trade positions with insider information years ago. They knew years ago what the plot and the plan was. So they was already positioned, and they still in those positions. And now they're up all profit while they sit and watch the world burning. That's what's going on. They're watching the world burn while they're in profits. Everybody else is going to be fighting for the scraps. That's that. Let me see what else. I'm going to get into crypto here shortly. Let's hear the people on the ground, right? Let's hear what the people have to say about the job market, because it's one thing for them to report the job market, right? They could tell us, oh, the job market is doing this or the job market is doing that, but it comes down to the people. What are the people experiencing? So I'm not gonna play this whole video, but let's see what a few people have to say.
I have seen in the past week, the beginning of January, that has said, do not quit a job. I can't find a job. It's blowing my mind. Like, it is that hard in this economy to find a job. Do not leave your job, guys. Like, take a moment, breathe. I know the job, you might hate the people there, you might hate the pay, you might want to leave as quickly as you can. But God gave you that job, and some people don't have a job right now. And I just want everyone to have a friendly reminder that even though you may not feel like you're blessed, you are blessed. Because there's so many people that don't have a job and that are struggling right now.
Got my 90th denial email again. Nobody wants to hire me, and it don't make any sense. Don't make sense. I just want to get one acceptance. Just one higher email. Instead, all I'm getting is, we're so sorry, but we've decided to go with another candidate for the time.
What if you could throw out all your charts, click erase on all those colorful drawings, never worry about a trend, financial...
So something that I'm realizing, people who aren't currently in this job market,
it's a lot of women,
are not understanding.
A lot of women.
That I want to spell out very plainly for you. When we say there are no jobs, we're talking about jobs in general. Like, legitimately, any kind of job. There are more job seekers than jobs. And that is not just white collar jobs. That is not just mid-management jobs. That is not just leadership level jobs. Those are jobs. When you hear someone say, I've applied to 500 jobs this year and not heard back from any of them, do you honestly think that's only 500 jobs only in their niche, at their level? I've applied to 600 jobs. There is no way in hell that there have been 600 jobs that are like director level or above for employer brand and talent marketing. No, I have been applying all over the place to anything that even remotely aligns with my experience. And not just that, I've been applying to anything. It took me, I had to go back and count. It was like 22 applications to hourly part-time retail job before I got through on anything. When people are saying they're applying to hundreds of jobs, they're talking about jobs in general. And I think this is where a lot of job seeker frustration is coming from, because people who are not in it keep coming at us with like, well, just go apply at a restaurant. We'll just go substitute teach. We'll just go drive Uber Eats. We'll just go get a retail job. We'll just go drive a forklift. We'll just go apply to an Amazon warehouse. Like those jobs, all jobs, all jobs, all jobs, all jobs. There's not a lot of them. And just because you can go to a job board and see a bunch of things listed, those aren't real jobs. Like so much of what is out there online right now is fucking fake. Fake in a number of different ways. I did a whole video about the different types of ghost jobs that exist, but like there are so few real jobs where people are taking applications, interviewing, and then hiring a person to fill that role. And this is where, you know, a lot of us feel like we're being gaslit by the rest of you. And why we say things like, if you're not in it, just stop having an opinion, because this is not like it used to be. This is so different. And
job market is shit, but it is really starting to piss me off that I am sending these applications and not even getting rejection emails, just no response. Like, for instance, I applied to be a server at the Texas Roadhouse, right? I applied for that position like 2 weeks ago. I didn't hear anything back. So you said, you know what? Let me walk my little ass in there, because what you're not going to do is act like I'm not a real person. Like when you guys are not getting back to people and are rejecting these applications, these are not just applications and numbers. I am a real fucking person. So I walk in there and I'm like, hey, is there a hiring manager available to speak? No, like immediately it seemed like she kind of had an attitude. No hiring manager available. She's not here. But also everything that we do for the hiring process is done online. I am aware. But I'm not getting through to anyone online. I didn't even hear back from anyone online. And I said, I understand that. The reason that I came in here is because I haven't heard anything back. And the least you guys could do is say, hey, we either close the position or, you know, whatever the case is. Like, it's fucking Texas Roadhouse. It is a goddamn serving position. Like, I can't even imagine the fucking job, the job process for corporate America right now, because I know it's fucking insane, but I'm over here just trying to get a regular job, and this is still how they're treating people. And it really pisses me off, because this shit kills your spirit. It kills your spirit. And this is also what pisses me off again, because if you've seen my page before, you know I got fired the day after Christmas. Like, it sucks so bad, because for just a small amount of time, I finally felt like I have some sense of stability. And now I am in fucking, like, I am in panic mode. And when you're in panic mode for so fucking long, because I was for a long time prior to when I had gotten my last job, it is hard to keep trying. It is hard to continue to send the applications knowing that 99.9% of the time, you're not even going to hear anything fucking back.
Getting to that age where you can no longer quit your job just because you don't like it is so humbling. When I was younger, I used to quit jobs for fun. But now, there's too much on the line. The state of the job market might just leave me homeless.
Do you support Israel and the...
So yeah, man, that's the job market, right? I agree with you, Lenny. I don't like to see nobody fucked up out here, because all of this shit is engineered, right? All of this stuff to me is being engineered, and this world is fucked up, all right? This world is fucked up. Man, you got decent people out here that just, you know, they just want to have a decent life, you know what I'm saying? They just want decency. They just want to be, you know, going... You can't even go in person no more, right? Because everything is automated. Everything is AI driven. So I remember the days not too long ago where you can go into a place and fill out an application. You can't do that no more. You got to do it online, and you got to go through an automated system, right? And that's what they're going to tell you when you go in person. So, man, you know, wow, you know, this world is just fucked up, bro. This world is fucked up. And AI is telling corporations how many people to bring on board so that they can save revenue and cut costs. So that's the direction we going. So like Lenny said, y'all need to learn how to trade, right? This is what I specialize in on my channel. Specializing in this. If you're somebody who say, hey, I don't really have time for that, then you got whatever you pursue, just know you gotta make time for it. And the earlier you started, that further ahead you will be, right? If you keep putting something off, it don't have to be trading. You keep putting something off and you don't pursue it, the later you're gonna get left behind. It's gonna be harder and harder as you go. So if you're gonna start something, start it and finish it. Go forward and go through with it. So the earlier you start this, if you're interested in this, it's gonna benefit you. What else I got, man? That was interesting. Let me delete that video. What else was I looking at? Just going over different headlines, going over the market. I'm gonna swing over here to crypto in a minute. Southwest flight 2094 diverted to Atlanta due to security threat. Passenger detained. So I think that's the video we went over. So yeah, that's the people are on the planes. We getting like high alert terrorist threat. Oh, just in, Russia aiding Iran. So here we are. You got China preparing in the east, and Russia is being, bro, this is the beginning of World War III, right? Russia aiding Iran, and we're making a big deal out of it as if we didn't aid Ukraine to fight Russia. So here we are.
One-way attack drones that have been... Security correspondent Jennifer Griffin, she's live in Washington with the very latest on Operation Epic Fury. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Sandra. Admiral Brad Cooper said the number of Iranian ballistic missiles fired in the first 24 hours is down 90%, but Iran has a near limitless supply of Iranian Shahid drones, which are being targeted by cheap American $10,000 weapons, according to Brad Cooper. Separately, American Lucas one-way attack drones that have been reverse engineered by the U.S. military from Iranian Russian drones found on the battlefield in Ukraine are now hitting fixed targets in Iran.
This was an original Iranian drone design. We captured it, pulled the guts out, sent it back to America, put a little Made America on it, brought it back here, and we're shooting it at the Iranians.
The U.S. has lost at least 3 MQ-9 Reaper drones over Iran, but much more significant are the direct hits to sensitive U.S. and allied radar installations across the Gulf. Videos from the first days of the strike show a satellite communications hub in Bahrain and Qatar taking direct hits. Fox News has confirmed that Russia is quietly providing intelligence to Iran to help with the targeting. This was first reported by the Washington Post. Russia's goal to prolong the conflict and drain valuable U.S. munitions, much like the U.S. has done by providing targeting intelligence to Ukraine after Russia's invasion. At CENTCOM headquarters yesterday, Admiral Brad Cooper said the U.S. had struck an Iranian drone carrier roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. It was still on fire as the press briefing began.
Yep, so there you have it. Russia providing surveillance, probably going to provide weapons. One of my things is I think Iran, I think they're going to be gifted a nuclear weapon. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to be gifted. And that gift is either going to come from North Korea, China, or Russia. That's just my speculation. That's just what I'm speculating on. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But that's just what I think. Let me wrap this up. All right, so let's look at crypto, right? What's going on in crypto? What's going on in crypto? So right now, let's go out to the monthly on Bitcoin. Just started the new month, right? It's looking it rallied up. And I was telling people that little rally, I seen people on X, they was celebrating, yeah, Bitcoin over 70, it went back up to 74,000, right? And here we are back down to 67. That's a false rally. These lows down here at discount, right? These lows, I got 48,000. 48,000 Bitcoin as my target, right? I'm looking at 48,000 Bitcoin. So we're going to see if that pans out. And if it drops to 48,000, what does that do for the market? So look, on the weekly time frame, right, for Bitcoin, and we just started the first week of March, it traded up, right? This week closed bullish and it traded higher. But look over here. What is this in the chat? Y'all tell me what this is in the chat for Bitcoin. What kind of area and price is that? What is that? Pop quiz. I like to do pop quizzes on my channel. I like the engagement. That's a pop quiz question right there. What kind of PD array? What kind of PD array is this? Who knows what that is? Yes, Shep, you're right. Sibby, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. First week of March, price opens up, trades directly into it to the middle. Is that random? No, it's not random. Look at the middle of the Sibby. Maybe do I need to change it another color? Let's give it another color. Right there. Look, is it random that it trades right to the middle of the Sibby and then drops? No, that's not random. It's algorithmic, right? This is a daily time frame. Consolidates. We open up in March, trade up. They offered themselves a what? A premium. They're shorting the market. They're in the sell program. Shorting the market, trades right into the Sibby. They triggered their shorts. And guess what? It comes down. And guess what's below these lows? What's down here? What are these lows, these swing points? What's underneath these wicks? What's underneath these wicks, right? What's underneath these wicks? Bitcoin. It looks like it's going to be a low resistance run too. I think we're going to open up. The guy that I played earlier from AMTV, he said he sees something happening this March, right? This month, something major popping off. And these markets, the where they're trading and the feel for them, they're setting up, they're staging for some type of event that we cannot foresee or know what it's going to be, right? So they're staging these markets for a crash, and then I think it's going to be event driven. That event, I don't know what that is. Is it going to be an attack on the U.S. soil? We all know that's coming. Come on now, can we agree that we know there's going to be attacks on this soil, a major one, on the scale of a 9/11? I don't know how big, but I'm just saying, like, they're going to attack us on U.S. soil. It's going to create more chaos and just bullshit in the world. Y'all be vigilant out there when you traveling, when you in public, right? If you ain't got to go around people, we still in pandemic mode until 2030. Not saying you don't got to go outside and enjoy your life. I'm just saying stay away from people. Stay away from people, just like we did during the pandemic, 2020. You had to stay away from people. So this is a good time to kind of like be around your loved ones, but stay the fuck away from people. You know what I'm saying? Because shit is hot out here. What's up, Night Owl? What's the word on the wire, Lenny? Liquidity. Yep, you're right, Shep. Liquidity underneath the market. So boom, sell side liquidity. Night Owl, did you ever get out of that gold trade? How did that gold trade pan out for you? That's what I want to know. How did that gold trade pan out for you from a few months ago? Did it pan out, or did you get out? It panned out fine? Okay. That's what I wanted to know. It panned out fine. You sat in it, man. You was a soldier, man. You was like, fuck this, I'm not selling it, and I'm gonna sit in it. Went through a little drawdown and it went up. Made a couple hundo. Okay, shout out to you, Not Out. Hey, we got real results over here, people. If you haven't, if you don't know, you might want to tap in. Real people over here making real money, right? Not too many channels out here gonna give you the fishing rod to teach you how to catch your own fish, right? So shout out to y'all, man. The real one was before the 1500. Yep. You shouldn't have chased it, but you did. Okay. So yeah, man, we got a lot of liquidity down here for Bitcoin in the near term, right? In the near term. So I see Bitcoin dropping back down, 62,000. I see it going below 60,000. Like I said, 48,000 Bitcoin is my target. 48,000 Bitcoin. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but hey, that's where we going. Let's come back over here to X. I'm gonna get to XRP in a minute. Let's come over here to X. I got a few more things I want to look at before I get up out of here. Finally, gas costs more than oat milk in San Francisco. So gas in San Francisco, $6.30. We got some satire, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of funny shit. Operation Epstein Fury, you know what I'm saying? Got some satire going on. Breaking. Something big just happened. BlackRock just blocked investors from pulling their own money out. The world's largest asset manager is telling people, no, you cannot have your cash back. This has never happened before. BlackRock's 26 billion private credit fund got hit with 1.2 billion in withdrawal requests this quarter, and BlackRock said no. Y'all not getting that money. That's our money. Investors wanted 9.3% of their money back. BlackRock said no, capped it at 5%, paid out 620 million, and locked the rest. That means almost half the people who wanted out couldn't get out. And what y'all think is going to happen to these exchanges? What y'all think is going to happen to these banks? It's not just BlackRock. Blackstone, similar funds saw a record 7.9% in redemption requests. They had to raise their withdrawal cap to inject 400 million of their own money just to cover the demand. Company Blue Owl straight up stopped honoring redemptions, replaced them with IOUs. Black dropped 5% KKR. So a lot of companies did the same thing across the board, not just BlackRock. The entire private credit sector sold off in a single day. These funds lend money in illiquid loans that cannot be sold quickly. BlackRock also just wrote a separate $25 million loan down to zero. It was valued at a full price 3 months ago, gone overnight. JP Morgan's Bill Egan said it best. Bad news often happens all at once. The opacity and the leverage in the sector is considering. This is a $1.8 trillion industry. And we got rising oil, war in the Middle East, AI disruption, the software companies that borrowed heavily from these funds, AI rate cuts off the table. So we got a lot going on, man. I got a lot going on. That's BlackRock. You know, they're freezing people's funds. Come back right quick. BlackRock freezing people's funds. What else we got going on? Let me see. I'm trying to get to the point where the stock market yesterday lost $800 billion in one day. You know what's going on, right? It's going down. It's going down. Let me see. I don't know if this is real or not, but Latinos, Asians, blacks, and some more poor whites are what Trump is sending to die in his war against Iran. How strange, right? So, you know, America, you know, we multicultural, sending everybody over there. You know what I'm saying? Sending everybody. So God bless the troops, right? God bless everybody. So I thought this was interesting. This is what the soldiers are eating, the poor diet of the U.S. Army. So, you know, when it's wartime, and they, you know, and they implement the draft, half of y'all in here that are, you know, a lot of y'all going to that war, right? A lot of y'all going to that war. And some of y'all already know about these MREs, right? These meals ready to eat. And this is the type of food they eating. So are you ready if you get drafted?
Beef stew. Meatballs and marinara sauce. Vegetable crumbles.
Wait. Let's go back. Right? Let's go back a little bit. Have a beef stew, right? That might be good when you fucking starving at war. Beef stew, right? Beef stew might be good.
Beef stew.
All right. I might have to eat it if I had to survive.
Meatballs and marinara sauce.
Now that right there, I'm good on that, man. I'm good on that. Because what are the meatballs? What are the sauce?
Vegetable crumbles.
Vegetable crumbles. I can eat that. Give me that. It looks nasty, but I'll give it to me.
And tomato sauce.
Beef strips and tomato sauce. I don't know how old the beef is, and the tomato sauce, I don't know if that's real tomato sauce.
Beef taco filling.
Nah, you can have it. Beef taco filling. No, motherfucker. We got to swap that out, or we got to fight for it. Me and somebody got to fight for that. I don't want that.
Spaghetti and beef.
Spaghetti and beef, it might go good.
Chili with beans.
Chili and beans, you're going to have a fucked up stomach.
Chicken noodles and vegetables and sauce.
Give me that. It's kind of healthy.
Elbow macaroni and tomato sauce.
Nah, I'm good.
Chili and mac and cheese.
I'm good.
Meatballs and marinara sauce.
I guess you got to do what you got to do when you got to live.
Beef stew. Vegetarian taco pasta.
This shit look nasty.
I'm fasting.
He said he's fasting. He's me, goddamn. He's fasting.
Spaghetti with beef and sauce.
Chicken chunks. Wait.
Chicken chunks.
Vegetarian taco pasta.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that.
Chicken chunks.
Got protein in. Meatballs and marinara sauce.
God damn, man. Pray for the truth, man.
Shredded beef and barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Elbow macaroni and tomato sauce. Beef strips with tomato sauce.
Spaghetti with beef and sauce.
I got chili with beans.
I got chicken noodles with vegetables and sauce. I got a beef stew.
So it's pretty much similar. Everybody got similar.
Chicken chop.
I just need some Tabasco sauce. I'll be good. Give me some hot sauce from Louisiana. Give me some Tabasco sauce. I'll make it work, right? I'll make it work. TZ, you said MREs that stepped up this game. Night Owl, you said when you have the heavy ass pack and rifle and you walking around the heat all day, you'll be thankful for that MRE. I'm sure, man. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if I'm fucking my fucking ribs are touching my back, I'll eat it. Check this out, man. Your president, man. The internet is crazy. And this is AI, bro. This is AI. Look how crazy AI is getting. Check this out. I'm gonna play it 1 second.
Their army is gone. They're just about, look, their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders are gone. They're down to their 3rd set.
Oh, man.
Their air force is wiped out entirely. Think of it. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean. Other than that, they're doing very well, Coach. Their army is gone.
What y'all think about Trump, man? He dripped out, man. He got the Nike tracksuit on. He got the shiesty, that's what the kids call it, the shiesty mask on. You know what I'm saying? He got the Make America Great hat on with the Cuban links. Yeah, man, that's y'all president, man. That's y'all president. Yeah, man, AI is crazy, man. AI is crazy. It's getting crazier. I'm not gonna show nothing crazy up here. All kind of stuff on here, man. But yeah, man, that's pretty much. I'm gonna get into XRP and then I'm gonna head up out of here. Let me see what else. I know I saved it. They called him crazy. He said this 8 years ago. Let's listen to this guy right here. I'm not gonna mention him. Let's listen to what this guy got to say.
Best knowledge right now what's happening on the planet.
What's happening?
The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, all. There's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the 3rd dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the 3rd dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up in the 5th, 6th dimension, consciously our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us, that are organic creatures, so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball. But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals or TV. Right. But this is an interdimensional force that wants to influence us to build something that absorbs us and kills us, rather than the divine free will we're given to build something much better that empowers the species. So the species is now making a decision about its entire future.
Where are you getting this from?
That's what it is.
But where are you getting it from?
I know, from looking at all the data, researching it, studying it, watching the enemy. That's the big decision that humanity has now got before us. You get someplace finally in deep research where it's what every culture already said, what everybody already knew, what they're telling you in movies like Prometheus, what the elite admit the New York Times they believe in, everything there that isn't naturally occurring.
Who is that?
I mean, if you actually read what all the globalists say, they are getting not off-world, but interdimensional communications to then build this system that we see lowers our IQ, makes us live.
Yeah, man, that was interesting. Sometimes I question what the fuck we living in. That's gonna be that on that. That's very interesting. Let me read these comments. I'm not gonna be too much longer. Gentel, are you thinking utility won't happen for XRP? Yeah, I think it'll happen. But they're gonna knock everybody out the market, or try, at least us retail. If you don't have a job, if you're not staying stable, they're gonna knock you out the market because they got they can play the game. You know what I'm saying? They can play the long game. This is the crypto matrix, XRP. Currently trading at 135. I got XRP, man. I ain't gonna talk about it, but XLM at 15 cents, XDC at 3 pennies, man. HBAR at 9 pennies. Ethereum 1,971, bro. Coming off a high of 4,954, almost $5,000. Knock right back down. I feel bad for people that hold Ethereum, bro. You had so many chances to make money, sell it, make money, sell it. And you just keep, if you're holding Ethereum, that shit sucks. Quant, $64. Constellation, somebody asked about DAG. It's at 1 penny, bro. You can pretty much go in your pocket right now, go in your left pocket and pull whatever you got out of it, go upload it to an exchange and get you some DAG right now. You can get a pocket full of air, go deposit it and get you some DAG right now because it's at 1 penny. 1 penny. You know, it's really not much to talk about at 1 penny. And there's no volume in these markets. IOTA currently trading at 6 cents, right? Solana, $83. Algorand, 8 pennies. Look at all these cryptos, man. Like shit. No volume. Flare, nothing. Flare's air. 0 pennies. Internet Protocol or ICP, $2.45. We got, what is this? Cardano, 25 cents. Sologenic, 5 cents. Chainlink, $8.71. What else we got? We got Zbeck, Air. Ondo, 24 cents. Stronghold, Air. Remember everybody was hyped up about Stronghold replacing XLM or whatever, you know, replacing XR. Air, nothing, pennies. It went up to about 3 pennies and now it's nothing. It's damn near, it's nothing, right? Sui, 89 cents. V-Chain, Air, 0 pennies. Axelar, 5 pennies. Aave, $109. Velo, Air. So we got about 6 different crypto that are valued at 0 pennies. What else we got? XSwap, Air. What is this? Hyperliquid, $30. Chronos, 7 pennies. Block V, Air. Render, 136. Tron, 28 cents. Avalanche, 893. DIA, 18 pennies. So yeah, man, crypto, bro, I wouldn't put my money in it right now. You know why? Well, I'm not saying that. I'm invested in crypto. I'm saying like buying shit that's worth pennies and there's no volume, there's no institutional sponsorship. The institutions aren't in there moving it around. You're going to be you're better off just putting your money in a traditional savings account and getting your penny return each month, right? If that. You're better off just putting it in a traditional savings account and just getting getting that credit, right? So, because right now these markets is shit. So I pretty much I'm not anti-crypto. It's just I'm no trader, right? I'm a trader. I'm a trader first, and as a trader, I like to put my capital to work. I can't put my capital to work if the market has no volume, right? There's no volume in these markets. So it's not really going to work for me. I need something with some volume, a lot of institutional capital. When I trade the S&P and the NASDAQ, we talking about a market that is in the trillions. They do quadrillions per year, right? They do let me find the fucking article. Where is it at? I know I saved it. Media, post. I didn't save it. But anyway, stock market. So they're saying 800 billion was liquidated out of the market. So check this out, right? Just yesterday alone, right? $805 billion liquidated, wiped out of the US stock market, right? In one day. The crypto market, it's in the trillions, but it doesn't have, you know, the stock market is a $1 trillion, multi-trillion dollar market, right? So 805 trillion in one day, that's significant, but it doesn't really impact it, if you know what I mean. It's not really impacting it like that. And come on now. So crypto doesn't have that type of institutional volume in it. So sitting in this right here, you're going to be watching. It's painful. I'm going to say that. It's painful. Lenny said, not selling some ETH, 5K was a mistake for me. Let me pull up the picture, Lenny. Let me pull that picture up. Let me go back. So I'm going to show you a lot of people. For those that are watching. For those that are watching, I'm going to bring this back up. If you didn't pull any profit sometime this last year, top of the year, whatever, you're probably feeling crazy, right? You're probably like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You probably like this guy right here. I should have sold, right? I should have sold. And it's weighing on you because, you know, especially for the people that went all in on crypto, I should have sold. That's how you feeling right now. I understand that it's a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson. That's why I say learn this skill set. Learn what I'm teaching. Learn this skill set and learn what I'm teaching, right? Because it's very valuable. Let's look at XRP right quick, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Look at XRP right quick, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Monthly time frame for XRP 135. Remember I said, man, it could get crazy. It could get crazy for XRP. 135, right? And it's these lows down here in the market are too goddamn clean. All of these equal lows down here. There's orders down here. There's orders down here. And if it decides to drop down there, man, 29 cent XRP. I know people don't hear that shit. I need to see it. This is what I need to see, right? I need to see XRP, right? Find support in here. It needs to stay above the midpoint of this gap that I have highlighted in orange. Let's go out to the 3 month. XRP needs to stay above the midpoint of that gap on a closing basis, right? It needs to stay above it. If we start coming down below the midpoint and start closing below this midpoint, it's probably going to want to slip and come down here to get these lows in the market. So right now, let's go down to a weekly. It's consolidating. Go down to a daily. Consolidating. So it's sideways and it's showing signs of weakness. I'm gonna say that. Consolidating sideways and showing signs of weakness. And I believe we could slip. Let me go down to a 15-minute intraday. 15-minute intraday. What am I looking for? Intraday. I see these lows. See these lows over here? Might want to reach for that. And if it reaches for those lows, it's going to slip right here. If it reaches for those lows, it's going to slip lower. Got a range. Find a range. So I'm going to look closer. This swing high down to that swing low right there. That's a range on the 15-minute time frame, which is intraday. This was from Friday high down to that low right there. Let me change my settings right there. So Friday's high, right? Well, that's not Friday's high. That was a swing high on Friday right here down to that low. Drop down. Drop down, consolidate, come up to premium, right? When it trades up into the premium, right? Y'all in the chat, what is this candle right here? Look very closely. What is this candle right here? They're shorting at premium. They're shorting at premium right here. Yep, SIBI. Now you tell me the precision, right? You tell me the precision. That's the SIBI. And look, you got to look a little bit closer. See that little gap in here right here? You got to combine that. Let me combine that right there. This little small little gap right there. That's a volume imbalance. When you see a volume imbalance plus a SIBI, you got to combine them right there. All right. So look, we trade into the SIBI. Is that not precision? Is that not precision? Precision. We trade into the SIBI on the premium side of that range that I just outlined. And this is XRP. Trade into the premium side of that range, right? They're looking to short. They're going to short at premiums. Whenever they're bearish, they're going to short at a premium. It trades up into a premium, triggers their sell orders. It drops, consolidates. They offer themselves another shorting opportunity right there. Is that not precision? When I combine this gap right here and look over here to the right, is that not precision? Trades right into it, rejects it. I can add more precision. I can lay a Fibonacci inside of that gap right there. From high to low right there, right? And then I'm gonna add some more levels, which are my eighths. Boom, right there. To get more precise, you can see how we trade into these other levels, right? And we're seeing weakness. Look at this, a lower high. We're seeing lower highs, right? So that's just showing weakness as we trade into that gap. Trade into a premium, drop. We come back, it doesn't want to come up and take out this high. So it's showing weakness in price. And then look, it drops, drops. Take out these lows right here, sell side liquidity. Sell stops. Sell side liquidity. All right, they take out liquidity. They're trading as well. They're high frequency trading on lower time frames. So they're shorting here, getting out right here, taking profits. That's something that long-term investors are not doing. And that's why I'm trying to teach you the skill set. So it comes back up, offers another opportunity, drops again. When it drops this time, take out these lows, trades into a inversion fair value gap or a BISI, trades into it. And now here we are right now, right? Here we are right now. So the current range that we're in for XRP is from this high down to that low right there. All right. And we're just consolidating right now. And it looks like we're going to sell off probably tonight. Probably going to get a sell off tonight. So it's definitely not random, bro. Definitely not random. Look, man, that's going to be it, bro. I appreciate y'all joining. Hopefully I was a little bit entertaining for y'all today. Hopefully y'all learned some things and was updated. We went over oil. We went over the war and the conflict in Iran. We're projecting out into the future. We looked at robotics. We looked at all kind of stuff today. So this is a live stream that you might want to go back and rewatch. It's a very long one, but you can break it down if you missed anything. We went over a whole lot. I taught technical analysis, right? I didn't go into depth, but I taught some things. Maybe you picked up some things, but I definitely appreciate y'all joining. Lenny, don't sell your XRP. Take a loan against it instead. Oh, and I can help you get that. Shout out to Lenny. That's funny, bro. Shep, so we got to stay above $1 or we may go to 30 cents. I didn't say that. I didn't say we got to stay above $1. Go back out. I didn't put a number to it. Just go back and listen. I didn't say, hey, we need to stay above $1. We need to stay above this range, right? We need to stay above this level. So that's $1.22. This midpoint, we need to stay above this midpoint right here, which is $1.22. I don't want to see us close down here. If we close down there, it's coming for these lows down here, right? It's coming for these lows, and that's going to be too clean. So I'm gonna need to see it find support in here. But you already know, with the current conditions of the market, the state of the world, things are coming down, bro. They want to make max pain. They want max pain on the economy. They're showing you everything I went over today is telling. Some people didn't know China was prepared. Some people didn't know China was preparing for war. So that was something new for some people. So I went over a lot of things. Hopefully I informed you. All of these things tie directly into the financial markets. Job market being disrupted. Job loss. AI and robotics. Warfare. You know what I'm saying? I went over it all today. I touched every surface that we can touch that's pertaining to the reality that we're living in and the economy that we're living in. So I gave you different people's perspective, like people holding on to their jobs, people trying to find jobs. I showed you everything. So you gotta come down to your own conclusion on, how are you gonna prepare your household? How are you gonna prepare yourself in these upcoming months, these upcoming years? Because shit is about to get real. It's already real. I'm already saying, hey, we're going to World War III. It's here. I'm thinking we're going to see a nuclear bomb. Do I want to see it? No, I don't. I don't want to see a nuclear bomb go off. But that's where we're pushing the limits to. We're pushing the boundaries. There's no more boundaries out here. Everything is being broken. It's wartime. So prepare your household, do the best you can. Still live your life. Don't live in fear. Continue to progress. Continue to learn new skill sets. Don't lay down, right? Don't lay down for nothing. Support your family and do what you got to do. And learn this skill set. You know what I'm saying? If you want to join my Patreon, click the link in my description on my channel. So if you want to join the Patreon, you want to get more insight on trading, join the channel, right? But other than that, I appreciate y'all joining, man. I look forward to catching y'all on the next one. I might go live tomorrow or Monday. We'll see. But until then, peace out.